2019, you signed a 2-year deal with an up and coming, one of the most exciting teams in the game. You get obviously young Zion, fresh out of college, and someone who I love, the guy that won Most Improved, Brandon Ingram, and also get Lonzo Ball. What has that experience been like? Now you're the old man in the locker room. What is it? What's that? Obviously, kind of not necessarily looking back at your career, but It goes by so fast. Now you're the voice of reason. You're the old man with all the ice on you. What has it been like in that locker room with that team?
Man, it's been great, to be honest with you. This year, other than COVID and the bubble, my actual time in New Orleans was one of the least stressful, least drama-filled teams I've ever been on. It's just a bunch of good dudes, man. And when they're good dudes already at 21 or 22, like I feel like if you get the right vets around them, you can really have an impact on their career.
Special.
And look, that's what happened to me. Like, I was very fortunate that I was in great locker rooms in Orlando, and we had guys like Keon Dooling and Rashard Lewis and we had Vince, we had good
Anthony
dudes.
Johnson,
we had good dudes, man. So I think you think a lot about like your own legacy when you get towards the end of your career and like what it means and like how people are going to remember you. And like, I hope I was a good teammate. I truthfully, like, I hope Nickeil Alexander-Walker's like, yo, that's my guy. I hope in 15 years when he's finishing up his career and he's doing the same thing to a 22-year-old, he can say, oh yeah, JJ took care of me when I was a rookie. And those are the things that you really think about when you get older. And I would say this too, like, man, as a visiting player, you go to New Orleans, you fly in, you stay at the Ritz, you might walk like a block or two to dinner. You don't ever get to experience what New Orleans really is. New Orleans is a special place, man. It's one of the most amazing places I've ever been in this country. It's so unique. The people there are just insanely nice and insanely great. And I think that was eye-opening to me. It was so because I didn't know what to expect. Because again, I had experienced one hotel and two restaurants and the arena for 13 years. That's it. And then you're oh man, they got a jazz hall that's open almost every night. You can go see a brass band play at a random dive bar on a Monday. Mardi Gras. My 6-year-old is like still talking about Mardi Gras. That was in February. Knox, what was your favorite thing about New Orleans? Mardi Gras. It's my best day of my life, Dad. Best day of my life.
Hopefully you didn't get to see some girls doing wild things for beads.
No, well, there's the Bourbon Street Mardi Gras, and then there's the uptown family-oriented Mardi Gras. Yeah, no, Knox.
See, I don't know. You gotta school me. I didn't know what you were showing Knox already. I was about to ask.
Uptown is like, it's a different part of New Orleans that what we're talking about. With Knox was not out in the streets, man. Come on.
He wasn't throwing beads. Drew Holiday, one of the most underrated two-way players in the game. Talk to me a little bit about him, because he's someone you just don't hear much about, but he's put together a very solid, and one of the most respected players in the game.
Drew doesn't ask for or enjoy adulation and attention. He's totally cool, just flying under the radar. He and his family are just incredible people. His wife, Lauren, is a phenomenal woman. They're just, his brothers, his parents, like they're just leaders. They're just great people. And, I think my two biggest takeaways from my year in New Orleans was, thank God I got to experience New Orleans and what a special place it was. And thank God I get to be friends with Drew Holiday, because like you, man, like he's somebody in 10 years, 15 years, whatever it may be, like we're still going to be friends, man. He's just an incredible human. He's an incredible human. On the court, like he does so much and he does so much well. And I've talked about this a ton on my podcast. I've talked about it with the guests on my podcast, but seeing him guard the ball up close, one-on-one in person this year.
It's special.
There's no one that can do what he does. I don't know how he is able to just stay in front of people at the level that he can. And it doesn't matter. Like, you want to put him on Dame Lillard, great. You want to put him on Jokic,
right.
Great. And like we'll switch him on Jokic and he'll be like, nah, don't give me help. He wants that action.
Right. That's
And
dope.
yeah, he's just great, man. And like again, like another guy, like we talk about, having the right mix of guys in the locker room. Like he's just a special dude in the locker room, man. He's just a great teammate.
What do you see, God willing, Zion stays healthy? Is there a limit you can put on him? Because I don't think we've ever seen anything like him.
No, there's not. Like it's all NBA, All Star, Hall of Fame. That's his ceiling. Like the thing with Zion is that he is naturally, obviously athletic, but naturally skilled. And so when he learns sort of how to play the NBA game and think the NBA game, he's going to dominate. Like he does it naturally without even really putting the thought and the sort of the preparation that we all learned. Like I didn't do this either when I was 19.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process.
That's what people say.
So I'm like, dude, this guy in year 5 and year 6, like what are we looking at right now?
He's 2010, and like you said, he's just playing off raw instinct and ability and athleticism. It takes a good 4 or 5 years till you understand the NBA game. So once he understands the NBA game, like I said, as long as he stays healthy, wee.
And I saw that this year with B.I. and Brandon.
Love him.
B.I. in his 4th year, Lonzo in his 3rd year. And you could see that development, like where they're thinking the game and where they're learning, like, oh, this is where my advantage is. I can get away with this almost every night, and let me keep going to that. And so that's like, to me, as much as we talk about skill development, that's where really great players, that's where the development happens, is in thinking the game. And that's what makes one of our teammates, Chris, so great. Like that's why he can play at the level he can at 35 as an undersized point guard. It's because he's so smart and he thinks the game.